Good evening, I'm Emilia Clarke. And it's a great pleasure to say, welcome to the Graham Norton Show.
Some great guests tonight, including stars from the new Han Solo movie. Of course, that was Chewbacca, of course, saying, welcome to the show, or, I don't know, coughing up a furball, something, making noises. Now, I should say, I won't actually be talking to Chewbacca tonight, because, well, you know, not loud on the sofa. He's not? Down. Is it a dog? I don't know. It's a big weekend, isn't it, here in Britain? Is everyone looking forward to the royal wedding? Almost flag-waving, well done. Harry's chosen his best man. I must admit, I'm a little surprised. How that speech will go down. Everyone is looking forward to tomorrow, but, you know, it'll just be like any other wedding in the end. You know, drunk relatives necking the booze down before the free bar shuts. People getting bored at the speeches, wondering how long they'll go on for. Point, the celebrities is on soon. The reception will be a stand-up buffet. Doesn't whisper royal, does it? Anyway, it's a stand-up buffet where people can just grab a plate of food and chat. I'm not sure if the Queen is a big fan of those. I'm going with no. And finally, best wishes to the American First Lady, Melania Trump. Oh, she's recovering in hospital after having a kidney operation. Wow, the things she'll do for some alone time. Happily, it all went well, though, unfortunately, the large accumulation of bile and waste couldn't be there with her during the operation. So, let's get some guests on! Soul star Leon Bridges. But first, this award-winning actor found global successes, Doctor Who and D.I. Hardy and Broadchurch. Now he brings us a new British film, You, Me and Him. It's a warm welcome back to Mr. David Tennant. Just last year, this actress, writer and producer won a BAFTA for her dark comedy Fleabag. Now she's joining the world's biggest movie franchise, Star Wars. Please welcome Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Joining Phoebe, this British actress shot to fame as Khaleesi in Game of Thrones and is now kicking galactic ass as Kira in Solo, a Star Wars story. Please welcome back Emilia Clarke, everyone! Good step. Very good on the side. And it's been 4 decades since this lady joined Miami Sound Machine. And since then, she's won 7 Grammys, released 31 albums, and sold over 100 million records worldwide. Please welcome the undisputed queen of Latin pop, the one and only Gloria Estefan! Welcome all. We are all Chewie fans.
We are.
Oh,
yes. All fans of the Chewie.
Grinning like a loon.
Oh, he's lovely. And a special bienvenido. Bienvenido, is that right?
Bienvenida.
Bienvenida, because you're a lady.
Yes.
I'm not an idiot. Do you know, because we wanted to pick a Gloria Estefan song for you to come on to. It was hard to pick. What do you, when you open a concert, what do you always have the same song?
No, you want to change it up for the fans, definitely.
Okay.
But it's nice to have a difficulty to having to pick a song. Conga always does it. I mean, they usually expect it to be... Yeah. Hello.
I love you, Gloria.
I love you, too. I love you.
See, why aren't you performing at the royal wedding? You should.
know.
Yes, you should be performing.
You think?
Yes.
What would I sing?
Oh, well.
Can't stay away from you?
No. Oh.
Maybe. Party time, definitely.
Time will tell, Gloria.
Party time.
Because were you at the Prince William's one?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Don't look surprised.
No.
No.
I'm far too common for that.
But they need common people to, you know...
Make them look cool.
Yeah, yeah. They need people like you. Yeah. Amelia, you going?
No, sadly not.
See,
I know.
I would have thought, you know, Harry'd like Game of Thrones and he'd just kind of, you know, say
No.
yes.
If he does it, it wasn't enough to get me invited. So. The box set didn't reach them in time. Yeah. I tried.
Did you feel like, you know, cool young people that they hang out with William and Harry? But Phoebe, you hang out with older members of the royal family.
When I can. Wherever I can find them. I found one at this event. It was like a Women of the World event that I'd like gate crashed, broken into, climbed through a window into, whatever it was. But then everyone was being introduced, and Camilla Parker Bowles was approaching me with one of those like assistants behind her who like tells her who the person she's about to talk to is. You know, like Veep, the guy behind who's like this person. Yeah. And they were coming towards me, and she was sort of giving her ear to the phone, going, "Tell me." I didn't know she was coming round, and then her assistant's going, "Oh no, I didn't know." Or something, I don't know. It was like, "Hello." And then, like, a TV camera was, like, on us, and I was like, this is gonna go wrong. And then she was like, who the fuck are you? Why are you an important woman? And I was like, I don't know how I've got here, but... And then I said, I'm a writer, and I write TV shows, and I'm actually... And I just thought I had to get, you know, women into it, so I was like, I'm writing a show at the moment about a female assassin and a female MI5 agent, and they're kind of... chasing each other around the world, and she was like, oh, lovely. And I was like, yeah, it's a lot of girl-on-girl action. But she absolutely dead and went, oh, we all like a bit of that, don't we? Yeah.
Oh, dear. Well, listen, lots of great stuff to talk about tonight. David's got a new British movie to talk about. Gloria's got a new show about her life and her music. But we're going to start with Emilia and Phoebe in this week's big blockbuster, Solo, A Star Wars Story. Yes, it opens on the 24th of May, and here's a taste.
You look good. A little rough around the edges, but good.
Heard about a job. Big shot gangster putting together a crew.
I'm a driver, and I'm a flyer. I waited a long time for a shot like this. What do you think? Well, what do you know?
L3!
Let's go with a mean man's face.
Who are these guys? If you come with us, you're in this life for good.
You might want to buckle up, baby.
Is it exciting to see that?
Yeah. Literally just watching it like...
We haven't seen it 3 times.
It's a exciting. So obviously there's familiar names in it, sort of, you know, Han Solo and Chewbacca, but you guys are new. So who are you? Amelia, who are you?
So I play Kira, who you're introduced to her very early on in the story with growing up with Han. And then we're separated for whatever reason, and when you see her again, you're not really sure what's happened in that time. Dun, dun, dun. And so she's somewhat changed, and then they continue on together in a certain time. I'm trying not to do a spoiler, and I'm learning what I'm saying. And so it's this kind of... You're not sure about who she is or why she's there, but you know that Han and her have a connection.
A connection?
A connection.
And a past.
And a past, and a past.
Do you have a connection?
I have many connections as a droid. I am L337, and there she is in all her glory.
Yeah.
But you did rock up to work. I mean, that's you.
Yeah.
That is you.
Yeah. They spent a lot of money removing me from the film. But yeah, I was in a green suit underneath it all, and it was half a practical suit and half motion.
Well, there you are.
See, there I am.
So you are sort of there. I mean...
I was kind of
in there.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I do what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, no one had a clue who I was at the rap party because I was like, hey, guys! And they were like, oh, who's the overfamiliar girl that no one recognises?
And what is the story that at the audition, you weren't a Star Wars aficionado when you auditioned for this?
No, I hadn't... thanks for bringing this up. I hadn't seen any of the Star Wars films.
Not a single one.
David!
That's a disgrace.
It was a disgrace. I know.
Yes.
I know. I was like one of the 5 people in the world.
Yeah.
Well, no, Gloria, you've only seen... How many have you
The
seen?
first one. And the second to last one.
Second to last one?
Yes.
Oh, right.
did
That
not
put
see
you
the
off.
Well, I did bookend it, so that's...
Yeah, no, exactly. You followed the whole story.
Yes, I did. As long as Chewbacca's in it, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Ah, and he's in it. He's all over this one. You'll like this one. So you hadn't seen any of them, and yet you rock up for the audition.
I rock up for the audition and... could you put that on the thing? Because my...
Of course I can.
Yeah.
Just safety first.
Sure.
Thank you. Story time. So I was going to the audition and I thought, I'm just gonna... This character was amazing. She's a revolutionary. She's really cool, and the dialogue was amazing. But it kind of said, just in one of in the stage directions, droid. And so I was like, droid. What's a droid? And then I googled droid, and then nothing much really came up, weirdly, just pictures. There wasn't explicitly, it was a robot. Yeah. And I was in a taxi on the way to the audition, and I was like, shit, I really should know what a droid is. And I was asking my taxi driver, he was like, I don't know what a droid is. And he called his family, like, what's a droid? And the more, I didn't know, the more panicky I got. And then I got to the audition, and I was like, I'm just going to play it like a human, because the chances are it's a human. Because most of the times when you audition, it's for humans.
Yes.
So I went in as a human and I did the audition. They were like, the guys were like, oh, that's really great, thank you. Could you try it a bit more droidy? And I was like, what sort of droidy kind of vibe do you want? And luckily, one of the directors went like this. Honestly, I saw his hand. He was like, a bit more like... And I was like, fucking robot. Full on, like, I know what they want now. They decided they didn't need it to be droidy at all in the end, so I think it might have worked in my favour that way. So.
Because now, David Tennant, obviously you're part of the...
Yeah.
Now, have you ever seen Doctor Who, Gloria?
My son lived here a year and a half, and he turned me on to the show, and it's amazing. I love it. Although I think Bill and Ted ripped you guys off.
They did. They absolutely did. Yeah.
They did.
That's all right.
That's a good reference.
Yeah.
But
Excellent
it's true.
adventures.
And is this the Doctor Who you saw?
Yes.
OK.
Yes.
She says with confidence.
Yes. It was the only one.
No, there's loads.
The only one. That's right, Gloria.
There's only one of you. But no, so Doctor Who, it continues, you see, because they keep regenerating.
Yes.
Yeah, if you tune in now.
Like James Bond.
Yeah, there's a different one. Yeah.
It's going to be girls now.
It is a woman now. And obviously, because it's so top secret who's going to be the new one, but because you had worked so closely with Jodie on Broadchurch, did she confide in you?
I knew a little bit before, but only because Chris Chibnall, who wrote Broadchurch, who we both know, is now running Doctor Who. So he phoned me up and said, the next Doctor would like to call you. Is that OK?
How exciting.
I said, who is it? No, don't worry. They'll be the next person to call. It was very high level.
Who is it?
Who? Yeah, Doctor Who.
Yeah.
We know now. It's Jodie Whittaker. Yeah.
Brilliant if your mum had snuck in a call just in between.
Mum, you never told me you were up for that. So then I sort of put my phone down and waited for it to ring. And, of course, because I know Jodie, her name pops up. And it was very exciting. Yeah.
Wow. And oddly, you met your wife on the set of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But she is the daughter of a Doctor Who.
Yes.
Which must drive Doctor Who people into a frenzy.
I mean, it is statistically quite unlikely. Yeah. But oh, there we all are. Look, there's the three of us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so embarrassing. I'm wearing the same suit. Come on.
And tie.
That doesn't make me look very windswept and celebrity-tastic, does it? I mean, it's a very nice one. You wouldn't want me to just wear it once, right?
No. You know it works. You know it works. You look lovely. Now, Gloria Estefan brings us news of a musical. It's called On Your Feet. It is the story of Gloria and Emilio. And you are giving us lots of warning, because it doesn't actually open at the London Coliseum until next June.
Yes, I want them to be ready.
Geared up.
Exactly. No, tickets are on sale today, so...
Oh, you can buy? Okay.
Yes. I think they already have them somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even before they came on.
We'll hear the sound of them running down the stairs. We must get the tickets! We must get the tickets!
Yes.
But of course, On Your Feet, it's already been a big hit on Broadway. What is it, like 2 years?
Yeah, we were 2 years on Broadway, and we even had a group of people called the Feeties, the On Your Feeties.
Nice.
These were young girls that had seen the show. Yeah, I don't know. Is that
sounds...
strange in England? Or... Okay.
Yeah. It sounds a bit like feces, that's all.
Oh, no. No. Feeties.
Feces.
Let me say it with the accent. No, a little weird at the beginning, you know, because there are actually people playing my husband and I on stage. So it was pretty emotional at the beginning, and several times watching it. But my favorite thing was, like, we'd sit in the back row because, of course, on Broadway, they don't want us to disrupt the show and go 1 minute late because the union is very, very strict. And I would love to sit back there, and then there's several points in the show where people are crying, and I'd love to see the big, beefy guys crying, and there was one right in front of me because, of course, they don't know I'm sitting behind him, and the guy is bawling. I mean, he's sobbing. He's asking his wife for tissues, and after the accident thing, he goes, "Oh, my God, that accident, whatever happened, is she okay?" And I go, "She makes it." Relax, she makes it.
Listen, we've got a sort of a real... I guess this is from the Broadway production.
Oh, yes.
It's a case of what you can expect at the Coliseum next year.
Yes, indeed.
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that, calm down. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Feel the rhythm of the music getting stronger. Don't you fight it till you try to do the conga. Get on your feet. Get up and make it happen. Get on your feet. Stand up and take some action. Get on your feet.
Thank you. That's the Dutch production.
That's the Dutch production.
That's Ryan van der Bosch, Dutch production. They're amazing. Dutch people singing in English and Spanish. It's wonderful.
Wow. And it is a story of your life, but what an amazing life. You know, a Cuban immigrant, then finding success in America, then global success, the crash you mentioned.
Not a fun night, that.
No, I mean, you're on the tour bus.
Yes.
It crashes. That changed your life.
It did. I wouldn't change it. You know, it really made me live my life in a much richer way in many ways, and the connection that I made with fans, and the fact that I really learned the power of prayer. I was raised Catholic in school, so I'm pretty irreverent. And, you know, I felt people's prayers like I was plugged into the wall. It was amazing, and I used it in my recuperation. I kind of meditated and imagined nerves reconnecting, and it was great, and I'm good. Titanium reinforced. My band calls me Robopop. I could be a droid, for real. Come on, Star Wars, what are you waiting for here?
So so there's that in it, but overall, it seems like it's a lovely love story.
It is,
between you and Emilio, because now this sounds. Are you lying?
I'm
that
not.
He is your only ever
My
boyfriend.
first and only.
Really?
Yes, he says I don't know any better, that's why it's good. And I tell him that I don't have to have hamburger to know I have filet mignon at home.
Oh, hamburger's good though.
Yes. Just for a change.
Yeah, you know.
Now we're going to be married 40 years in September.
Congratulations.
3 together.
40 years.
Yes.
But
it's wonderful.
It's a proper true love story, 40 years in September, but there is something, and it does sound annoying, so there is a quality in him that does annoy you.
Well, it doesn't really annoy me. It actually makes me very happy because he makes me laugh all the time. He's got business neurons in his brain and music, and he's focused on all that. But he is the most absent-minded individual you will ever see. He has left me places forgetting that I was with him when he went to get the car. And this is before cell phone days, so he goes, "No, I don't want you to get wet, it's sprinkling." 45 minutes later, backstage, where is he? I call home. He was there. "Hello? You forgot me. Oh, I didn't know you were with me." And then he has this other funny thing, like he has a direct connection between his brain and his mouth. He doesn't really edit anything, so whatever pops into his head first. Fortunately, I speak Emilio, so I can usually figure it out. But like things like this, the other day he comes up to me and he goes, "Look, Tom Cruise," as he points to his shoes, and I'm going, Tom Cruise, Tom Cruise. And I was thinking, because Tom Cruise had been at our home, we'd had a dinner, and I go, "Did he give you that as a gift? What Tom Cruise?" He goes, "Yeah, the designer." I go, "Tom Ford." That kind of thing is constant. You know what he calls the Queen of Soul? Urethra Franklin. It's more complicated. I don't understand. He does crazy things. We're flying out of Vegas, and he goes, "Look, there it is, Notre Dame." I go, "It's Hoover Dam." This kind of thing, it's like all the time. So he keeps me laughing. I think that's why we've been married 40 years. Totally.
But now, there was a hint of all your hits in the musical.
Oh, yes.
And so many to choose from. But apparently you do a thing where you like to kind of play around with the lyrics. Is this right?
I have parodies. Yeah. I wrote parodies before I wrote songs. And Emilio, when I was 17, he asked me if I ever wrote music, because he wanted to do an original album. And I said, well, I write a lot of parodies to tunes and poems and things, so I think I can do it. And that has been a lifelong habit. I can't break it. Sometimes I finish the parody before the actual song is finished.
OK, so listen, this is really just an excuse to play some of your songs.
Yes!
So if you listen to this.
Get on your feet.
Yeah.
Get up and make it happen.
So what's the parody to that one?
I smell your feet. I smell them through your sneakers.
That is a song. Then we've got this.
It cuts both ways. We're in too deep for sorry alibis.
What's this one?
I go both ways. I always have a date on Friday night. If I can't get a boy, a girl's all right. I just can't decide, and so I go both ways. Thank you.
Finally, one more. This.
Oh God.
This was your first #1 in this country. Here we go.
Anything for you, though you're not here.
Anything for food, just bring it here. I haven't said I'm through. And where's my beer? I've been waiting for so long, all my appetizer's gone, and still my hunger pangs are strong. Yes, thank you.
Very good. There's another musical there.
I know.
I'll tell you. Now, David Tennant, everyone, has a new movie, You, Me and Him. It's out now. It's in cinemas now. Now, I see from the poster, you are the him.
Well, I might be the him. You might have to see the movie to figure that out.
OK.
Yeah.
So, tell us about it.
You've got Lucy Punch and Faye Marseille, and they play Olivia and Alex, who are a couple at slightly different stages of life. And Lucy's character is ready to start a family. And Faye's character is more of a party girl and doesn't really fancy that. Lucy goes ahead and starts the process anyway. Faye storms off in a huff, gets very drunk, ends up spending a very ill-advised night with the next-door neighbour, which is me. So you then have two women in a relationship, both pregnant at the same time, with the next-door neighbour who wants in on the action.
And it is a really... You look so different in this. Kind of a man bun.
He's a sort... Yes, he's in the grip of a midlife crisis, so he's got the man bun, the piercings, the hipster beard, yeah.
Now, the hipster beard, apparently you struggled with the hipster beard.
I didn't struggle. I just didn't have time for the full promontory.
Oh.
So this is me around here, and then there's a bit. They had to add an extension, which they do with yak hair. Yak hair. So they shave the hair off a yak's arse and shove it on your chin. And it sort of goes in follicle by follicle. It takes forever.
Listen, we've got a clip of the movie. This is you gate crashing a birthing class.
Right.
OK.
OK. Excuse me. Can I be of some assistance to you?
We'll start with that, right? I've every right to be here, audience. I'm the father of Alex's baby. I should be part of the process.
You looked at my planner. OK, guys. So you've never seen a polyamorous relationship before?
No.
It will simmer down. Welcome, John. You are welcome, one and
sorry.
all.
Can I just say that we're not
what you just said we are. But John is the real father, and he's very much welcome.
Thank you, Alex.
Is he your sperm donor too?
Alison, that is enough judgment. They're lesbians. They don't want to talk about sperm.
Right, sorry.
Now, oddly, you had to fight for your role in this film. It wasn't a straight offer.
Well, you might have seen in that clip, the blonde lady with the gentleman on the other side of the room was actually my wife, Georgia. This was the first movie... There she is. And that's our mate, Chris. And this is the first movie she produced, her first feature film. So I thought, I'm a shoo-in for this. But no. No, it went to many people before it finally wound its way sorrily to me, sitting there. Oh, that didn't work out with John Hamm, did it? No, he's very busy. I think I'm free. But eventually they gave in, yeah.
So that is Me and You and Him. That's in cinemas now. But we should quickly mention you have another movie coming out August 24th called Bad Samaritan. And this is a very different beast of a film.
Yes.
Like, really different for you.
Less of a rom-com, more of a horror show, yes. He's a monster.
Yeah. Because what's the premise of this?
Well, there's two car valleys. It's set in Portland, Oregon. You know that lovely thing in America where people park your car for you? Don't really do it here. So two of the guys who do that outside a restaurant develop this technique for taking the cars, putting home in on the sat-nav, going to that person's home while they're in the restaurant, robbing their home, coming back again. It's quite a good idea.
That is a really good idea. That's a great idea. Yeah.
And it's worked.
They should have not made the movie. They should have just done that. They'd have made so much money.
That's how they finance it. So they're merrily doing that. Robert Sheehan, you might know from Misfits, brilliant.
Oh,
he's the sort of lead guy. And it's all going along very well until they rob my house one night and discover things locked in my study that they shouldn't really discover. So I set out to have my vengeance.
And we think of David as just a lovely man, but your first ever acting role, you were also playing a bad un, a ruffian. Took you to a very dark place, did it not? Describe your first role.
Well, I've never seen this.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, it's good.
I was maybe 15 or something. It was an anti-smoking film for the Glasgow Health Board.
You're excited now, aren't you?
That's about as much as I remember. But I'm slightly fearful that you've got a copy.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how much... We can watch it and then talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that, Graham.
Oh, OK. But just, I suppose the main thing we should say is you're playing the bad un. You know, you're the one...
Yes, I was the one who was trying to persuade them all to smoke, wasn't I?
Yes. See how much smoking David Tennant does in this. Here we go.
I hope that's not your last cigarette. I'm dying for one.
No, I've got plenty to take one.
Don't be miserable. Give your friend one.
She doesn't want one. I've already asked her.
What's wrong with you? Her cigarette's no good enough or something?
It's got nothing to do with that. I just don't smoke.
Oh, one of them.
Leave her alone. That's my pal.
Sorry, I spoke.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful work. Gorgeous. That, of course, was filmed during the great match shortage of 1989.
Maybe it was because it was for the Glasgow Health Board. We probably weren't actually allowed. We were all underage, so we probably weren't allowed to be smoking.
And what a lovely choice of wall by the director.
Beautifully shot, isn't it?
Yeah, it made you want to go to Glasgow, didn't it? But actually, talking about starting out, Emilia, obviously your mother loves you because you're her daughter.
Yeah.
But she is actually a sort of a fan as well.
No, it's not quite that. It's, no, she is. Oh, goodness, right. Yeah. So, one day my mum came to set on the Star Wars set, and I was getting this thing called cyberscanned, which is where you stand in this kind of loads of cameras and they kind of take your form and put you into a computer and make a toy or some sort of merchandise or your face on a cushion. And so I go off and do this, and I come back, and Mum's like, I've made a great friend. And I'm like, brilliant, it's lovely, excellent. And she's like, it's the merchandise, you know, director of all of Star Wars or something. And I'm like, wow, it's very impressive. And then, before I know it, what comes in the post is loads of cushions with my face on it. So... my own mum she gets to see it a fair amount, you know. But apparently it's not enough. So I was kind of blown away at how much merchandise there is.
Yes,
it's
but
really...
also...
And it's not even... I mean, it's just the beginning. It was like the pre-merchandise. Not even the real stuff is out yet. And my mum has all of it. But doesn't know about the doll yet, so we'll
this is so weird. I don't know, is this in your flat or her house,
oh, God,
this
no.
room?
Right, OK, so basically, she thought it'd be really funny if I came home and it was everywhere in my room.
OK, so this is Emilia's actual bedroom.
Well, let me just clarify. This is like a joke, and then, oh my goodness, and we found the photo, but it's not like that now. There is another reason why I'm single.
You took a first date back to that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Come on in. I just did this little thing once. I don't have a CV, I just have a bedroom.
But this is cool, though. So your mother, a big fan, but Brad Pitt, also a very big fan.
That was the best night of my life.
Yes.
Literally.
Tell the story quickly. Tell the story quickly.
Was there an Emilia duvet situation?
Yeah, there's a duvet.
We're all ears.
Sheets, slippers. No, yeah, there was this auction thing that happened, and they called me and said, "Would you know, do you want to auction something off, like maybe sort of an experience watching the show with you or something?" And I was like, "OK, it's lovely. It's great for charity.
Yeah.
It'll be for some, you know, something.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine." Anyway, so I get there, and it's basically
thing.
it'll be a good thing. Yeah. I get there and it's basically like this. It's basically it's the Oscars. Like there's so many celebrities in this room, and I suddenly remember that I said that I would auction something off, and so the fear grows. So I was petrified, absolutely petrified. And then the person whose table I was on is a friend, and he was being very kind and kind of put the paddle up, and I was like, "Thanks very much. That's very sweet. That'll be that." And then someone else's paddle went up across the other side of the room, and I didn't really know. And then suddenly it was sort of becoming a bit of money, and I was kind of thinking, "Oh, this is absolutely mental." And someone went, "It's Brad Pitt," and I was like, "Lol." Sure. Yeah, exactly. And I look over to the room, and he's got his paddle up.
Brad's paddle.
Brad's paddle.
Was the paddle involved in the experience?
No, not quite. Well, it didn't work out because the person who was my friend, I think it was probably all set up. The person who was my friend ended up, you know, doing the highest bid. But
boo! Bad friend.
But yeah, I just kind of looked over with just the most insane emoji heart eyes, being like, "This is just the greatest moment of my life."
And now, Gloria Estefan. Well, everyone's a Gloria Estefan fan.
No, well, not everyone, but enough.
Enough. Hey, but no, because
I'm a lucky girl.
No, but you know, you've met popes, queens, but your big speciality is meeting presidents.
Oh.
Gloria Estefan loves a president.
Well,
so there you are with George Bush Sr. You with Bill Clinton.
Yes.
They're very good. Then we get you with George Bush Jr. There you are.
Yes.
Then we get you with Barack Obama.
Yes.
And there we seem to end the series of photographs.
That's amazing.
I've decided that those are enough presidents. Don't need more. Don't need more presidents. Yeah, no.
But no, you did offer to meet Trump, didn't you? Or
well, I didn't quite offer. They asked. No, we were getting the Kennedy Center Awards, and the press was asking me, of course, "Well, are you going to be there?" Because a lot of people were already saying that they weren't going to be there. And I go, "Well, if I happen to run into the president anywhere along the festivities, I would like to talk to him about a few things." So then he said he wasn't going. I don't know. I don't know if it was because of me. No, but we've had some amazing experiences. Like right before my accident, 28 years ago, I can't believe that, we were in the Bush Sr. White House, and I thought my son was going to be very nervous because he was like 8 years old. And he goes up to him, "Mr. President, I've been watching Mrs. Bush's salute to American teachers," and he goes off on a chat like for 45 minutes. And the president takes us back to a little room and pulls out this wizard from Sharper Image that they sell in the States. And he goes, come here, Naib, I'm going to show you how we make decisions in the White House. And he goes, is Naib going to be a good man? And he presses the button, and the wizard goes, undoubtedly, right? So I go, that explains a lot. So yeah, we've had some... It was that special little room that we all heard of later with President Clinton.
Oh.
Yeah. But this was before, so
yes.
No stains anywhere. Yeah. Really good, good.
Now, almost linked to that. Your character in Fleabag was quite the Barack Obama fan.
She is a very active fan, yes.
So, if people didn't see it, do describe what happened.
Please, you describe what happened.
Well, no, you were feeling energetic of a night time.
Mm-hmm.
But you were trying not to be energetic of a night time. Is that right?
Yeah, she has a wank to Obama speech.
Yeah, thank you. That's all we needed to hear.
Yes, but it's the part of the show that most people come up to me and they say, it's so relatable, your show.
Very good. And actually, talking of that, in theatre, Phoebe, I'd say you learned a valuable lesson. Was it hay fever? Noel Coward's hay fever?
Oh, my God. I've had so many regrets about telling you guys about this story. OK. Occasionally, backstage, there are some japes with actors, you know.
Sure.
You know. Yeah. That keep the other actors kind of entertained when it's a really long run. And I'm really sorry, Mum, that I'm telling this story. And there was one... I was doing Hay Fever, and it was a 3-month run, and there was one moment... There's one moment on the stage where I was off stage with this other actor, Sam, and one of the other actors, played by... one of the characters played by Freddie Fox, would storm across the stage, open this door, and we'd be standing behind the door, you know, masked from the audience, and he had to go... And then he'd slam the door and run back onto the stage. And so we always used to do something kind of quirky behind the door to make him laugh. And every night, and we started off by doing a little, like, ooh, like, we're kissing, or, like, oh, we put a funny hat on Sam. But it was 3 months long, this run, and we had to up the game every night. Every single night. And so we started getting the stage management involved, and there were massive, like, hot dog costumes, and, like, we brought people from outside to come in. So every time Freddie would open the door, he'd be, like, really excited, and he'd be like, and then we'd be like, and then we had to change really quickly and then run onto stage, and the other cast members could see it. And it was building and building, and we were running out of ideas, and there was, like, a week left, and we were exhausting ourselves. And then suddenly it was getting to the last night, and we were like, we have to have a big finish. Like, what are we going to do for Freddie? And neither of us could think of anything. And suddenly we did the matinee, and we'd done this kind of wild, kind of like spangly, glittery thing. And then on the final performance, we had nothing. And we were like, we have to do something. We have to do something. We could hear Freddie coming across the stage, and we were like, we haven't thought of anything. Sam just said, just, I know, I've got it. Look, just show them your asshole. I was like, what? That's awful. He was like, it's brilliant. The stage management around me going, perfect. Your actual asshole. But I just thought, do that. And I was like, really? And they're like turning me around. I was like, is this going to be good? And they were like, yeah. I had this huge pink skirt on. No, it's a horrendous story. And I had this huge pink skirt on, and everyone was like, it's going to be great. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be, oh my God, what's happening? And I was leaning down, and then Freddie was running along, and I was like bent over with the stage management, like, and then he opened the door, and Freddie just went, oh. I was standing there like, oh God, everything's gone quiet. And then I turned around and I saw like the glitterati of the London stage, like Olivia Colman, Lindsay Duncan, Kevin McNally, all going, yeah, too far. On stage, it was horrendous.
Well told. Well told, bravely told. It's gone now. It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
Right, it is time for music. This Grammy-nominated soul man sprang onto the scene in 2015 with his debut album, Coming Home. Now he's back with his much-anticipated follow-up, Good. Gorgeous as that. Come on over, new. And let's hear it for the band. That was terrific. That was really, really good. Thank you very much. David.
Fantastic one. Thank you very much.
Emilia, Gloria Estefan. Very good. That was so lovely. That voice is absolutely stunning.
Oh, my God, thank you.
Yeah,
so much.
And thank you very much for doing it all live and bringing the band with you and everything. That's so special.
Had to bring the peeps. You know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that is off the album Good Thing, which is out now, your second album.
It's out.
It's out. It's out. And it is a thing of beauty. It's absolutely gorgeous. It really is. Congratulations. So, a lot of times, you know, you have people on here and they're kind of like, oh, I struggled for so many years, I plugged away, nothing happened, everything. It happened quite, like, this has been meteoric for you.
Dude, yeah, it happened pretty quick, dog. I mean, I got signed with Columbia Records in 2015, and before that, I was just grinding, washing dishes, and playing open mics, and then everything just took off.
So you were washing dishes in Texas. Is it true you'd never left Texas? Like, you brought up in Texas, that was it?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I have family.
It's a big state,
yeah,
I understand.
I had never left.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
So you're washing dishes in Texas. What's the timeline? So you're washing dishes and then you're performing at the White House. How long did that take?
That was about a year, maybe? Wow. You know?
That's bonkers. It's bonkers. Because, like, Gloria, you worked hard to get to that White House.
Now I'm working hard to get out.
You're so amazing live. So are you going to be touring the UK?
Totally. We'll be back here in November, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so y'all come out to the show if you can dig it, you know.
Well, you've only got 4 people on the couch, but I know 2 of them are super fans.
Yeah. I'm with some celebrities right now.
Wow. Really
great
like
to meet
music.
you, really like meeting you.
We love it.
Yeah.
Don't show me your hole. Don't. Listen, that was absolutely gorgeous. Leon Bridges, everybody. Yeah. Beautiful. Right. Clearly, before we go, just time for a visit to the big red chair. Who's there? Hello.
Hello.
Scarves are really in. What's your name?
Jane.
Jane, lovely. And what do you do, Jane?
I'm a press officer and I'm from Nottingham.
A press officer for... Late, Gloria. OK, Jane, off you go with the story.
OK, so mine's a dating story.
Oh, yes.
I'd been chatting online to a guy called Martin and we decided to have our first date, made it a walk in Derbyshire, a very pleasant spot, to take our dogs. He'd got a rather large dog, I think it was a German Shepherd, and I'd got a little Dachshund. So we decided to meet this particular day at 2 o'clock in the car park, and he told me he was in a blue estate car. So I was looking for a blue estate car coming in. Sure enough, a blue estate car comes into the car park. I get out of my car, go round the back, clocking a figure in the front, go round the back, he's getting his walking stuff out, and I just walk up to him and say, hello, Martin? And he turns to me and says, no, my name's not Martin. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, only I arranged to meet a guy called Martin here on a date, and obviously I saw the car and I saw the dog in the front, and he said, that's not a dog, that's my wife.
That chair looks fun.
Do you think that's where the term dogging started?
Maybe she had long blonde hair. She thought it was an Afghan hound.
An Afghan hound, yeah.
That happened to me before, actually. We thought, we saw a friend in a convertible, and we thought he was cheating on his wife, but he was with an Afghan hound. Anyone can make that mistake.
Listen, that is it for tonight. Please say a huge thank you to all of my guests. Mr. Leon Bridges, David Tennant, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Emilia Clarke, and Gloria Estefan. Join me next week with guests including singer Jake Shears and the stars from the new Jurassic World blockbuster, actress Bryce Dallas Howard, Mr. Cool himself, Jeff Goldblum, and the always entertaining Chris Pratt. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye!
Press the red button or go to BBC iPlayer for Becoming Han Solo. Actor Alden Ehrenreich reveals the tips he got from Harrison Ford. It's available to watch now.